Hey everyone, this is Abra, and I'm back to give my 2 cents on Resident Evil 8 for the PlayStation 5. I just recently picked that up, and man, did that game give me a run for my money. I really liked the story and atmosphere. This game just oozes atmosphere. I did not play Resident Evil 7 before playing Resident Evil 8. The last Resident Evil game I played was actually Resident Evil 4 on the GameCube. But I'm happy to say that Resident Evil 8 kind of reminded me a little bit of Resident Evil 4 with the whole European village and, that whole kind of Victorian atmosphere. It also has a lot of creative monsters. But without getting too ahead of myself, let me just say it does start off picking up, I guess, shortly after the events, or maybe 3 years after the events of the Resident Evil 7 Biohazard game. And I'm doing it kind of backwards now after beating 8. I'm currently playing 7, and I'll probably give my thoughts on that as well. But, I just had to go ahead and do it out of order, do my own thing, because I was looking for games to play on the PlayStation 5. Anyway, getting back to the game, you play as Ethan Winters. He and his wife, Mia, and their baby Rose are trying to get settled into their new life in Europe. Chris Redfield, a character you'll if you follow the Resident Evil series, you'll recognize him. He relocated them to this little village in Europe after rescuing them from the swamps of Louisiana. The game starts out kind of easing you in very gently. You get to kind of wander around, explore things, get a feel for the controls. And Ethan tries to press Mia to kind of confront the past, and just out of nowhere, she's shot. And this kind of kicks off the game. You're like, holy crap, what's going on? And then Chris comes in, and you're wondering, what in the world? Why is Chris attacking this family? And Rose is taken away, and then Ethan is knocked out. That gets the story gears going right off the bat. And then next, when you wake up, you're in the rubble of what appears to be a van, and it looks like it was in an accident. And so you're stumbling around in the dark, you're all delirious, and you end up trying to wander away to get help. And then you end up in this European village. It looks like the village has just come under attack. Things are destroyed, debris everywhere. It just looks like all hell is broken loose there. Before you know it, you end up in the clutches of this crazy, wacky cast of characters that look like something out of just a nightmarish carnival. You have this tall lady, Lady Dimitrescu, and she has this mansion, and it's beautiful. And you have to explore, and the whole point is you're trying to find Rose, the baby, because she was nowhere to be found in the accident. From the moment you get into this castle, you're just under attack, under assault from these freakish individuals, and thus begins the old Resident Evil survival mechanic. I really liked this game. It was a lot of fun exploring the castle and then subsequently the different environments, exploring the village. This creepy house has these freaky dolls in it. One of the characters, his name is Heisenberg. He's kind of an interesting character.
Mother Miranda's gonna love you.
He's in a factory, so you have to go through the factory, and you kind of get all these different elements, which keeps the gameplay and the exploration interesting. The gameplay itself, I really liked. I found it very addictive. When you first start out, really all you can do to survive is just run and hide. And then eventually over time, as you're exploring, you'll find different pathways, different doors, keys, or you'll solve puzzles, which will allow you to backtrack and, explore new areas. But you'll eventually build up your inventory. You'll get weapons. You start out with just a basic knife, and then you'll, increase up to handgun, shotgun, sniper rifle. Never do you really feel overpowered. The game does a really great job of kind of feeling balanced, so you're always kind of walking this tightrope where you just don't want to go ahead and just waste all your ammo. You want to kind of plan your attacks and make sure that you aim and take your shots wisely. It does have a merchant in this game. He goes by the name of Duke.
Anything you desire, I can provide.
And Duke is a very odd character. At one point you ask him in the game, like, who are you? And he doesn't really go into it, at least in the main game. I haven't played an expansion or anything, so I don't know if his lore is explored further, but he is sort of your go-to in the game when you want to make your weapons more powerful or increase your stats or, get more ammunition, weapons, and so on. I really like the diverse characters in this game. It kept it very interesting. Each of the main, villains of each section, like Lady Dimitrescu, she has 3 daughters, and her shtick is she's kind of vampire-esque, although she's not really a vampire, but from all the weird experiments that were going on there, she ended up developing a need for blood to sustain her powers. She has these daughters, and one of the things I liked is the first time when you're trying to defeat one of the daughters, you accidentally find out what her weakness is by breaking a window, and then she kind of recoils at the light, and then that's supposed to be your light bulb moment where you go, oh, okay. And that's another thing that I liked about this game. You just kind of have to look for clues as to what each individual boss, what their weakness is. The gameplay was fun. Like I said, I really enjoyed that you never felt overpowered or godlike, but you never really felt too weak either. I think they did a really good job of the game balance. I did only play on normal. I haven't bumped it up to hard. At my age, my thumbs can only go so far. The environments of the different areas were just gorgeous. I have to give props to the developers for that. The graphics are top notch. I played the PlayStation 5 version, and every time you think that the graphics have kind of reached the apex, leave it to the next system to kind of show you that no, there's still a lot more that these game developers can do. And I really enjoyed the voice acting. I think all the actors did really well. I watched this behind the scenes vignette of how they made certain elements in the game and how they did the motion capture.
Let's see what you're really made of. Ethan Winters. Let's see what you're really made of. Ethan Winters.
It was neat to see the actors doing their thing and how they had assistants doing the blocking so they could make sure they do the movements right. The Duke's sound effects, oh my lord. When you're near his shop, you will hear all the incidental noises that he makes. You'll hear him groaning and choking and coughing because he likes to smoke a cigar, and I found some of those sounds just a little intense. Maybe that was what they were going for, just a little outlandish. Those features were unlocked when you beat the game on the normal setting. The other thing that I thought was just superb in this game was the soundtrack. The music and everything and just the visuals are really intense. I found myself several times just gripping the controller and kind of leaning up in the couch, and if I had a heart monitor on it, my heart would really be pounding. The music just accompanied everything really well, and there were a couple tracks that were just really kind of made the hairs on my neck stand up. And the only real complaint I had, and I mean in terms of a complaint, it's not really much of anything, but there were a couple areas where the puzzles kind of repeated. It didn't bother me too much, but some people might take issue with that. Overall, great game. If you haven't had a chance to play it, I would say definitely pick it up. So that's my 2 cents on Resident Evil 8 Village. I'd give it a solid 8 out of 10. Definitely a recommend. And thank you so much for watching. This is Zabra. Until next time, take care.